Hey guys, this is AgentMindStorm, and welcome back to another Minecraft update video. Today I'm going to be telling you guys all the features that have been confirmed to be in the next Minecraft Xbox, PS4, Switch, whatever console you have, update. And basically guys, funny story. Yesterday I spent half an hour scripting out a whole video about all the little hints they've dropped and all their little sneaky tweets that they've shown off features. But this morning they decided, you know what? We should live stream all the new features. So basically, my 2.5-page script is now useless, so we're just going unscripted today. That was honestly really annoying, because it's the first video I've ever actually scripted, and then it turns out that that's just really frustrating. I scripted out a whole video, took half an hour, and then it's just completely irrelevant now. So, anyways, let's get on to the first feature. The first feature is actually a really small one that they didn't even show on the Minecraft Monday live stream, and it's one that really no one will care about, but it's a new skin pack called Magic the Gathering Skin Pack. I'm pretty sure it's a card game or something, I don't really know. I don't know why they think we need so many skin packs. I really don't think they're getting that many sales on them. But yep, that is a thing. You can now buy a new skin pack for some reason if you've ever wanted it. It was actually confirmed in this screenshot here. That skin right in the middle is actually from Magic the Gathering, so... And it's already on Pocket Edition. It looks like... Oh, look, Pocket Edition made another skin pack that not many people bought? We should put that on Xbox. That's a smart... No. Okay, but anyways... Sorry about that, got kind of off. They added a new skin pack, and it's just useless, don't buy it. But, yeah, new skin pack if you really care about those things, and we're gonna get to more exciting features, I promise. That's just the first feature. A slightly more interesting feature is actually controller remapping. This means that within the game, you don't have to use any external apps, you don't have to use a Cronus Max, you don't have to use the Xbox Accessories app, you don't have to use, like, whatever your console equivalent is. If your console doesn't have one, you can now do this, and that means in-game you can actually change the controls, and you don't have to, it doesn't take much effort at all. You basically press A above which control you want to change, and then you press the button that you're changing it to. As you can see, the menu looks really nice, and I think it's definitely a great feature that's been long overdue. On the other versions, you can customize your controls, and on Xbox, we were just kind of missing that feature, so now that's definitely coming, and it's confirmed, and that is why in that screenshot, the buttons looked so weird. If you look, like it said RB for creative, and D-pad had something, it looked so weird, now it all makes sense. It really does now that they revealed it. It's like, oh, that's why it said RB next to creative. It's so interesting when you finally find out these things. But anyways, remapping controller buttons without the use of any external apps. You can do it within the game. And another interesting thing about it is that you can actually remap certain controls for things like the lobby. You can remap which button you open the vote menu with. You can remap which button you press ready with. You can change the buttons for, like, look behind you and glide. It's really interesting that they're changing all these things, and the reason that they actually added this menu is because now, after this update, there's going to be too many controls for the controller to actually support them all. So the way that they're adjusting to it is just making it so you can choose which controls you use and which controls you don't. A very nice feature. Also, as a little bonus, you can change which button sprints, so you can make it so when you press a button on the D-pad, you instantly start sprinting. Such a great feature. The third feature is actually quite a small one, but it will impact the gameplay quite a bit. The feature is actually iron nuggets and the ability to smelt down old gold and iron tools. Do you have 5 pairs of gold horse armor from nether fortresses that you never need to use because you don't actually have 5 horses? Yeah, me too. Now you can smelt that old armor or old tools that are almost broken, and instead of just letting them break, you can get 1 nugget of that type. You can either get a gold nugget or an iron nugget, and then 9 of those crafts into an ingot. We already had gold nuggets, but they didn't have very much of a use except that they were dropped from pigmen, so now you can actually get iron nuggets, and gold nuggets have a much better use. And yeah, it's a very great feature because you'll never have to have that old iron armor that you're just waiting for it to break. When the iron armor gets low, oh, time for the furnace. And also for gold farms, you'll never have a big pileup of gold swords ever again. You'll just smelt those right away into nuggets, and then have that go straight into your storage system. A very small but very good feature, and something that's definitely going to be coming in the next update. One feature is actually in quite a strange point right now. because it's the new sounds from 1.12, especially the new note block sounds of xylophone, bell, chime, guitar. It's just like, wow, the new sounds, but they're not confirmed fully, because on Twitter, 4J Studios tweeted this at someone who asked about the new sounds. They just said, sounds possible, and then their little winky face. So usually that means that yes, we're adding this feature and we're just gonna be punny today. But they didn't show it in the live stream, so I'm really confused as to whether or not it's coming, but I really do hope it is, because those features would be amazing for note blocks. I could make so many more songs with note blocks now, and I just can't wait for this next update, guys. It's gonna be so great. Another amazing feature is that they're adding a bunch of new blocks for builders. And they're also changing the color palette of old wool and banners and stuff. So basically, this is the first 1.12 snapshot basically added straight into the Xbox version, because they have concrete powder, glazed terracotta, and they also have changed the wool palette and the they're actually just changing the palette for everything, and it's a very good thing for builders, because concrete is basically a solid color block. Concrete powder is crafted with 4 gravel and 4 sand and a dye, and it basically looks like dyed sand, so you can have basically dyed sand, it just can't be near water, or else when you put it by water, it'll turn into normal concrete. Glazed terracotta is an amazingly patterned block that is placed in different directions depending on which way you look. It's actually really, really cool for building, and it's kind of hard to get it to mix with blocks, but if you do mix it, it will always look so good because the patterns are so amazing on it. And also, the palette's been changed a little bit, so yellow doesn't look like this weird, almost lighter and darker yellow, off yellow. It's now a very clear yellow, and the wool texture is also changing to look a little softer, and the lines are going to be a little bit like more of the same color. I don't really know how to describe it too well. They're changing the wool texture a little bit, they're changing the palette, they're adding a bunch of new building blocks for builders. All of those are going to be amazing for building and such great features. Those blocks aren't the only features that are for builders in this update though, because they're also adding a feature that's been on PC for the longest time and still hasn't come to console. That feature is Pick Block, and it's going to be in the next update finally. Now that there's a controller remap menu, it's not actually selected by default, so you have to go into the controller menu and assign it to a button. So that's going to take just a little bit of setup, but once it is set up, you can go and press whichever button you've assigned to it. When you're looking at a block, you press the button you've assigned to it. I'm just going to say up on the D-pad because that's the easiest thing. You press up on the D-pad and bam, that block is now in your hand. It also works with mobs, and it'll give you a spawn egg for that mob. It doesn't work with, like, custom mobs. So, like, say there's a zombie villager, it'll just give you a zombie spawn egg. But it's a really, really good feature, and in 1.9 they actually made it work in survival, where if you had that block that you're looking at in your inventory, it would bring it to your hotbar. I don't know if there's going to be that functionality, but it's another amazing thing for builders, because when your hotbar's full of 9 blocks, and you need to use, like, 12 different blocks for whatever you're building, it's really frustrating to have to keep going into the menu and refinding the blocks again. But now you can just easily get whatever block you've built with before by just looking at it, pressing a button, and bam, it's in your hand. Such a useful feature, and so small, but so useful for builders, and I just cannot wait. The next feature is actually kind of strange. You know how Pocket Edition, when they got dual wielding, they could only use arrows in the Totem of Undying? We're getting that, but you can only use arrows in a map on console. So for some odd reason, your character hasn't figured out that their left hand can hold anything except a map and arrows. But yes, guys, basic dual wielding is going to be in the update. I'm probably going to be mostly using it for a map, because maps are super useful, and I hate that you always have to switch them. It's going to be so much better once you can just have it selected at all times, and it is a little smaller as you can see in the picture, but that's the trade-off that you get for having it in your offhand. Now, unfortunately, it doesn't look like there's a hotkey to instantly put it in your offhand in the controls menu. They better fix that when they bring the rest of dual wielding in the new combat, or else it's going to be really frustrating to have to open your inventory, drag it all the way to the slot, and then close it again. I really hope they had a hotkey, maybe before the update's release, or after, but they just didn't show a hotkey, and it's really annoying because I would love to be able to instantly put my map in my offhand, but I can't because they haven't done it. There's no way to put blocks yet, there's no way to put steak, there's no way to put food, no torches, no other swords, no shields, no new combat. It's just a basic dual wielding feature, and it's basically just for the arrows and maps. So maps are definitely going to be useful. Arrows are going to be useful because you can select which one, and basic dual wielding, yeah, that's going to be a thing in the next update. I really hope they bring out shields in the new combat now that they've got half of the dual wielding, but it might be for a while. You don't know, it's console. So, yeah, anyways, the next feature, actually a few new things added to the Glide minigame. And these two features are both really cool. So the first one is a free map. They're adding a free map. They're not making you buy it. I don't know what they have done, but they've magically broken their habit of making you pay for literally every new map for a minigame. They're finally adding a free map. It's called Temple. It's based around the Temple battle map, if you couldn't guess. And it's actually really cool. And the other feature that they're adding to Glide is the Glide Ghost. Your best time, and I think your second or third best time or something, will appear as a ghost if you enable it in graphics, and it's really cool. You can also enable a trail that shows you where they went, so you can try to copy your past self. It actually looks really cool, and it's executed really well. I'm surprised how well they have it working in the live stream, and it is just such a cool feature that you can have a little ghost you flying around, and then you can have real you, and it'll also take on whatever skin you had at the time, I'm pretty sure, because in the video, I'm pretty sure it showed Prisoner Steve, which is not the default skin. The default skin would be Steve. So I'm pretty sure, don't quote me, but whatever skin you had on at that time will also take the appearance of the ghost. So it's just really cool. Glide now has a ghost to help you guide once you've already beaten the course once, and a new free Glide map. Two great things, and you don't have to pay anything for them. What a surprise. Now we're getting to the last two and possibly most exciting features of all. The first feature that's super exciting is firework boosting with the Elytra. You can finally use fireworks while using the Elytra to boost yourself straight up or across, or you can literally go in any direction you want at full speed for a few seconds when you have a firework. It's the best change ever, and you'll never have to use the punch bow and infinity combo anymore, because you don't need to, because they've got this much better option that is now, obviously, so much better. So much better. You can just craft a firework, you only need a gunpowder and paper. It's super cheap, too, really early game. And if you craft it with, like, a star and make it explode, it will actually hurt you. At least I'm pretty sure, because on PC, when you fly with a firework that has the little explosion at the end, it will hurt you. So that's, like, the balance out to it. But if you craft it without a star, it won't hurt you at all, and you can fly so far. It's such an amazing feature, and one that I definitely can't wait for. That's one of the best features in this update, hands down, but the very best feature is next. So what is this super amazing feature? Shulker Boxes. They're finally adding Shulker Boxes, which are basically backpacks into Minecraft. I have had so many times where my inventory is full and I have to take a trip to a chest or I have to drop something. Never again. I will finally be able to have Shulker Boxes, which can be dyed all 16 colors, by the way, and they're crafted from Shulker shells, which drop from Shulkers in the end. Oh my gosh, Shulker Boxes. Basically, guys, if you don't know, when you break a Shulker box, it acts completely like a chest until you break it. Instead of exploding all the items onto the floor, the Shulker box keeps all the items inside of it. So it's an expansion of your inventory, and it's balanced because it's very late game. You have to kill multiple Shulkers to be able to get one, because you need 2 Shulker shells, which there's about a 50-50 chance that it'll drop from a Shulker. So it's pretty difficult to get, but once you get it, it's so cool. You can bring it anywhere, use it with your Elytra booster, and you can bring all your stuff across the world, set up a new base, and you won't even have to make one trip back. Such a cool feature. I cannot wait for it. That's like my favorite feature in this update. Completely, totally my favorite feature that's coming in the next update. So guys, tell me in the comments below what your favorite feature that was revealed from these is. And also, I will have the original live stream that all of this was revealed in linked in the description if you really want to watch it yourself. It took me forever to find it because none of the other YouTubers were linking it, and I'm going to do that because I don't want you guys to be in the same situation I was in. So for now, I do want to tell you all, thanks for watching, and I will see you later.